think I have a question from Riani regarding the diplomatic consequences of that type of behavior. I believe that I have said in the parliament before that we live in a very different environment to the one in the 20th century. Today, we are confronted with a scenario where countries are not as generous as before with official development assistance. And they are very, very careful as to what jurisdictions they send taxpayers' money to. This United Workers' Party administration has absolutely no respect for the taxpayers of this country or foreign countries. At St. Jude's, many governments came together to contribute to the rehabilitation of the St. Jude's Hospital. The government of Israel, Australia, the United States of America, and St. Lucians both at home and abroad. And the government has just assumed the posture that, look, we can demolish this particular building at will to accommodate our friends for a medical school or for some other facility. The same thing with the abattoir. Millions of dollars that could have gone into another country's development was actually pumped into this country. And of course, a casualty of a clueless and reckless administration. Whilst you may sit with the Taiwanese and they may say, listen, we understand the new vision or we understand the new thrust, certainly it's going to create some injury to our diplomatic relations. That in certain cases, when you ask for things for St. Lucia, it may just have a longer gestation period. Or that gestation period would be one that would be indefinite. So they may not say, no, I will not assist you, but they are going to learn from history that you are not treating our gifts with respect. So we are going to another jurisdiction where persons need those resources for legitimate development. So to answer your question directly, that is going to cause some level of injury to our diplomatic relations. They will not come out and criticize the administration, but of course there will be a rethinking among our traditional friends and even the non-traditional friends that we are trying to reach out to try to assist us in creating a greater fiscal space for us to address the pressing but legitimate problems of our country.
And further, St. Lucia is a sovereign state, as the First Deputy says. If a government says to another government, this is our policy, the government cannot say no. St. Lucia is a sovereign state. But the question is, will the taxpayers of Taiwan, you see, the $21 million that was spent is money from the taxpayers of Taiwan. And now you're asking taxpayers of Taiwan to make a sacrifice to help a country, and you're going to be demolishing that sacrifice. And that is the point. That's a very important point that the parliamentary have made. Whether the sacrifice or the taxpayers of Taiwan is appreciated, and whether other governments will not take that as an example and say, here is a government that comes to us and asks for our hard-earned taxpayers' money to build a facility, and because of the whims and fancies of a government, you just demolish it. The same thing with the Bossejou Agriculture Station, where money had been earmarked and money was given by the BRICS to construct a modern agricultural facility. And because of one investor, the government again is demolishing it. And these are the things that we have taken into consideration. And the young people of St. Lucia have to be careful, because the young people of St. Lucia are the ones who are going to be suffering by such reckless actions. The young people of St. Lucia must take a stand against this level of recklessness and callousness of the government, the young people of St. Lucia.